much, Right Honorable Deputy Presiding Member. I want to thank you for the privilege to be with you in Holyrood, and thanks to for the honor done myself and my wife to observe the First Minister's question time for the first time. The question time attests to the long-standing democratic tradition of the United Kingdom within the context of a devolved system of governance. Although we do not run a parliamentary system of governance in Ghana, our parliamentary standing orders makes provision for question time for ministers of state. And having served before as a Minister of Communications, I experienced at first hand the uniqueness of this democratic practice. But I must say it does not come anywhere close to the time-tested tradition of the First Minister or the Prime Minister's question time. Right Honorable Deputy Presiding Officer, Ghana and the United Kingdom have built a very strong bilateral relationship that has transcended our historical colonial past. Our relations have grown over the years, nurtured by strong people-to-people contacts, a dynamic diasporan community, regular high-level visits, and significant economic ties. I'm therefore positive that my visit to Scotland could further strengthen these relations and see the exploration of even new areas of trade and investment between us. This is a country that has over the years led the world in heavy industries such as steel, shipbuilding, coal mining, and also in oil and gas. Ghana has, under my administration, been on a quest to diversify the base of our economy. This is aimed at transforming us from a primary commodity exporter and import-dependent economy into an export-led, value-added one. In this journey of transformation, Scotland provides us with a good opportunity for collaboration in developing our manufacturing sector. We've already established an impressive collaboration in developing our human resource and management capacity in the oil and gas industry. A growing number of the personnel working in our fledgling oil and gas sector received their training here in Scotland. Since 1926, when Scotland received its first Ghanaian student, many of your institutions of higher learning, including the University of Glasgow, Dundee, and Aberdeen, have continued to provide professional training to many Ghanaians. One of the greatest signs of our cooperation and friendship is the Scotland-Ghana Society, which sprang out of the large number of teachers, doctors, scientists, and missionaries who worked in the then Gold Coast and returned here to Scotland. I'm happy to be returning to the Scottish Parliament after the visit in the year 2000 by President Jerry John Rawlings. Let me use this opportunity to express the appreciation of Ghanaians to the University of Glasgow for the recognition they gave President Rawlings during his visit, and subsequently the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, who were both awarded honorary Doctor of Law degrees. Ghana has played a prominent role in the affairs of our continent, from the process of decolonization to the formation of the OAU, the process of continental integration to the significant success in implementing the Millennium Development Goals. It is my determination to continue this tradition in maintaining Ghana as a model of democracy and constitutional governance in Africa. We will work to deepen the process of regional integration and ensure the free movement of people and goods across the region. Africa is an emerging continent with a fast-growing population. We're therefore a continent in a hurry. A ticking youth bulge requires that we speed up the process of economic growth in order that we can provide decent jobs for the large number of young people graduating from our schools every year. Accelerated economic growth, expansion of manufacturing and agriculture will guarantee jobs and staunch the risky flow of young Africans across the Mediterranean in search of new opportunities in Europe. Ghana will continue to be an advocate and actor in international peace and security on the global stage. We currently have our troops in 5 different international peacekeeping theaters across the world. Our global ranking in governance, human rights, transparency, and rule of law is strong. Ghana has had 6 successive elections since 1992, and this year's election will be no exception in terms of transparency, fairness, and security. The many elections held in several African countries last year sends a clear message that Africa is emerging and building a solid foundation of participatory democracy that will form the basis of guaranteeing a life of dignity and prosperity for our people. In conclusion, let me, on behalf of my co-chair of the SDG Advocates Forum, Prime Minister Erna Solberg, invite Scotland to join hands with us and other countries of the United Nations to combine resources towards the realization of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. I thank you very much for the honor done me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for that interesting and informative address.